All right, good evening, everyone. Futures Brizio here. Um, just wrapping up here on a Friday, and so I just wanted to just post a video. I did make one earlier, around midday or so, but I figure I would just make this one. This will be the last one I make. For over a week probably. As I mentioned in the last one, I'll be traveling next week, so I will not be around. All right, so if you're watching this on the live stream, make sure you jump in and say hi. If you are watching it after on the YouTube channel, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave any comments down below. All right? All right, so let's just jump right in. We'll start with copper. As I mentioned earlier, copper, probably the best way to wait for copper now is for another push back up towards this trend line. These smaller little entries here don't usually work out too well. And so I did take a couple of losses on this. So it's been a little bit sloppy going down here, but I'm pretty much going to put this aside and hopefully wait for copper to make a bigger move up. May not make it all the way back towards the trend line, but we'll see how this goes. But, we are still in kind of in a bearish tilt here. As you can see, we're kind of pegging along this trend line. And so we are starting to move back up again at the end of the day today. So I'd like to see a little bit push higher and then, possibly look for a short on the higher time frame next week. All right, so on the DAX, as I mentioned, I was hoping to see this thing push back towards the trend line. And the last 2 hours of the session, we did see it move higher. As you can see, these last two bullish candles, hourly candles on the day. And so I think we'll probably make a run towards the trend line next week, and then we'll see what happens. Like I said, if we get to the trend line, we get some bearish price action, then certainly it might be a good push, a good trade to go lower. To me, if it breaks higher, I would need to probably take out this swing high at the last trend line break before I'd see this thing push lower. Before I would be willing to take it long. So I think you still have to maintain a bearish bias here. But, certainly it could start to move higher again. Depending what it does, it gets up a little bit higher. But like I said, once it hits the trend line, expect a reaction. And we'll just have to see at that point if we get any, good bearish price action to go short again. But as I mentioned earlier, that's probably what it's going to do. So, okay, on to cattle. Cattle did break support right at the end of the day. I did have a short on this on my funded account, which I hit my take profit at this red line. It did actually break through there, so that's pretty bearish. So next week again, the best thing to do with this is to wait for some kind of pullback again, and then potentially another move down. So probably expect some kind of bounce and then maybe another move down after making this new low. So, but anyways, for now, I would continue to look for shorts in this market. Probably heading down to at least this area here, which is kind of the next structure area on the higher time frame. So that's quite a ways, and so but that's what I'd be looking for. All right, so cattle remains bearish, and then lastly on natural gas, we did make some more new lows at the end of the day today. So here on the 4-hour chart. So, but again, I probably wait for another pullback over this moving average, maybe back towards the trend line, and then potentially look for another short. And again, I expect to see this move down. I think the next target realistically will be back down around this 4-hour support, where price took off from the last time. All right. So bearish trades on natural gas on pullbacks on some time frame. Obviously, if you're looking more to swing trade, you can wait for these 4-hour pullbacks. Just be careful trying to pull these internal structured trades on a lower time frame, because you will eventually get one of these big pullbacks that will take you out. So, and that's kind of like what happened to me on copper. So was trying to like be clever and take it on a shorter time frame, but you really just need to let it play out and wait for these 4-hour pullbacks, and you can hold these trades a lot longer. So, all right, so on to Swiss yen in Forex again. Nothing really to report here. Market closed right about in the middle of the range. So again, I have no interest in this market until it figures out what it wants to do. GBP USD, I closed my short positions right at support here. I had to take profits sitting down here, and price did come down and tag those areas. So on my funded account. So we'll see what happens now if we reverse and go higher from here. Again, that's kind of like a daily support area. So we'll see if we can break through here, break through this support area and go lower, or if we're going to go higher from here. So, you can see on the 1-hour chart heading into the close, we did bounce. But, it's Friday afternoon, so who knows what that really means. It's just profit taking at the lows, just position squaring ahead of the weekend. Didn't really do much. So, again, if it breaks through this level, then we're definitely going lower next week, and that would be another good short. But if we get some confirmation that's going to bounce from here, then and see more of an up move, then that's great too. Euro Aussie. So Euro Aussie, again, as I've been mentioning, it kind of hit these daily highs, triple topped up here at these daily highs. And then it looks like it does want to break through. I did have this line drawn, and it does look like it wants to potentially pop through here. So we'll see what happens next week. I expect to see maybe a little pullback into this range if it's going to go lower, and then have another push down. So I'll wait for that. And, we'll see. There's a lot of room to the downside. I know there's been a very strong uptrend, but again, we do have daily support, daily resistance area up here, triple top, actually more than that on the 4-hour chart. This is probably about the 5th hit on this level. And, so we'll see how that goes. But I do expect at this point that we might see lower prices, just because we did put in this lower high, and now we appear to have broke short-term structure. And so, I like to see maybe a little bit of a pullback and then reestablish on the short side. And on this dollar Canadian, again, we had these all-time monthly highs up here. Price went up and tagged that. I've talked about this a couple of times. On the daily chart, we did kind of take that area, the support area out, and then, I'm moving back higher. So it's going to be interesting to see whether we can sustain this up move, or if this up move is really just a correction and will eventually turn lower as we reapproach these highs again. But I think in the short term, there's probably some long positions that can be had here as price moves up. But just, again, be very wary of what's sitting above here and looking over to the left on this kind of imbalance area where it hit that all-time high and then pulled back, okay? Because we very well could see price push down from here. All right, but like I said, in the short term, we might see some push up. But again, just keep an eye on what's above there. And then lastly, Euro USD. I don't trade this a lot, but I had an old alert set on my phone that got triggered today. I didn't take a trade on it. But it's a lot like GBP USD in that, it does appear that we're moving lower here. If we go like to the 4-hour, this is a good picture here. And so we did make a push down here on this afternoon. So again, I do think there's more room to the downside. We have the next structural level is, probably sitting back here. And then below that, we've got these lows down here. So probably we'll make at least a couple more runs down here. So I'd like to see a nice pullback over the moving average and then a push lower. So short term, definitely bearish on Euro USD, much like Pound USD. All right. So, so short and sweet. I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's the wrap up for the week. Keep an eye on those things for next week. Trade safe. Hope you guys have a great week next week. I will not be back until the following week. I will be trying to keep an eye on things as best I can, but my trading probably will be pretty limited too. And I suspect I'll only be taking probably swing trades, as I won't have a lot of time in front of the charts. And if nothing comes up, then, that's fine too. So, All right. So guys, take care. Have a fantastic weekend. A great week next week. If you're watching the video, again, questions, comments down below. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll talk to everybody the following week. All right. Take care.